Hare Krishna, good evening. Welcome all of you all for our weekly Saturday evening Bhagavatam class. So today it's a very special day. It's Nirjala Ekadashi. So it's all the more fun, without sipping a sip of water or eating a morsel of food, staying whole day and chanting the holy name of the Lord, remembering Lord, trying to get closer to Him, trying to set our mind closer to Him. Today we will be starting with our Bhagavatam class, which is we are starting with the 19th chapter, the last chapter of Canto 1. Very important chapter, so we'll be starting that today. But before we start, a small understanding of what is the meaning of Ekadashi. Ekadashi means what? Ekadashi basically means refraining from grains, refraining from food. In general terms, Ekadashi means no food, no water. The whole day you dedicate yourself, you dedicate your mind focusing on God. But the challenge is empty stomach. The focus is on food, not on God. That is what makes the human life special. Other beings like an animal cannot do austerity. It's only the human birth. In a human birth, a man can do austerity, knowing well that he is hungry. He purposefully stays away from food and water. The reason is our mind is always engrossed in sense enjoyment through these five senses. Before I go ahead, I would like to ask one question. हम लोग भगवान को भोगा क्यों ऑफर करते हैं? या कुछ चीजें हम लोग नहीं खाते, जैसे मांस हुआ, मदिरा हुआ, प्याज हुआ, ऑनियन गार्लिक हुआ, क्यों हम लोग नहीं खाते हैं? हम लोग क्यों ऑफर नहीं करते? क्यों भगवान को ऑफर करके खाना चाहिए? व्हाट इज द रीजन? आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ डे टू डे लाइफ. यस, दीपाली माता जी, बी फर्स्ट. Yes, Shraddha Mataji is ready. Okay.
Prabhuji, to sanctify the food.
Sanctify the food. Okay, Deepali, what about you?
Yes, Prabhuji. To not get sin, we first apply to Lord and then we eat.
Okay, that's same sanctifying. So, what else? Anybody else can add on to that?
To
Yes.
purify our consciousness, like what offered food we eat, our consciousness improves.
Okay. Okay. What else?
It's a form of gratitude towards God that He have given us, so we just offer a little to Him.
Yes, that's a biblical way. I was from Catholic school and we used to have a prayer before food. And don't worry, even in the Indian Hindu culture, there is a prayer before food. So that's okay. That's thanksgiving to God for whatever He has given you. Mind you, the biggest problem is we cannot or we are not strong enough to control our senses. Now, you all must have heard about Gajendra Moksha. Gajendra is the elephant whose leg has been caught by the crocodile. And what does the crocodile actually signifies? It signifies that we are also caught by the five senses. हम ये पांच इंद्रियों को खुश करते करते पूरी जिंदगी निकल गई, बचपन से लेके बूढ़े हो गए, मगर अभी तक ये इंद्रियां तो खुश हुई नहीं, और हमने इन इंद्रियों के थ्रू अपने आप को खुशी देने की कोशिश की थी. Try to give happiness to ourselves. The mind has been trying to give happiness to ourselves by trying to enjoy through the sense organs. Now, the sense of objects can be sanctified in such a way that slowly your mind starts focusing on God. Before doing anything, before wearing anything, before eating anything, before doing anything in your lifestyle, you tend to remember God. And thus, Lord says, Mana eva mana adasvamai buddhi niveshaya. Lord says, मुझे अकेले तेरा मन चाहिए और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. बाकी पूरा शरीर तो तेरा छूटने वाला है यहाँ पे. At the time of death, you're going to give up your body, your clothes, your wealth. Nothing is going to come. Then what comes? What comes is the mind, intelligence, and ego, which travels with the soul. That is why Lord is saying, please offer your mind to me. And now when Lord is saying, please offer your mind to me, first we have to offer the objects of our mind. Our objects of mind is, wow, nice pizza, nice food, nice clothes, nice everything, nice. Mainly 365 days, today, one day keeping our this conveyor belt, this mouth is like a conveyor belt. Pura din jate rehte. It's like going in. This is the first time this conveyor belt has stopped. One day rest diya hai is conveyor belt. Just waiting, kal subah kab 6 bajega. Conveyor belt वापस चालू. So it's in a way good that we give a break to our conveyor belt. But the point is, you are always focused on things of sense gratification. That is the reason why we sanctify ourselves and we sanctify the. So this is the way in which one focuses on God, and Ekadashi, we focus more on God. And that is the purpose. That is the significance. There is no other significance. So whatever piety you get is too small. The biggest significance is your mind is more focused on something God. You are aware today the whole day. Yes, I'm not eating. I'm focused on God. I'm focused on God. That's what is going on here. Otherwise, there's no point in hyping Nirjala Ekadashi. Now, doctors, when you're going to get operated, but if you're going to get operated and the operation is at the evening at 5 o'clock, the doctors keep you, empty stomach for the past 24 hours. 24 hours before the operation, the doctors keep you empty stomach. So that time automatically you're doing Nirjala. So that is the time when you're doing it for yourself. Now you're doing it for. So coming back to our topic, let's start with this. So who's going to read the first verse for me? 19th chapter, first canto, 19th chapter, verse number 1.
Yeah. Sri Suta Goswami said, while returning home, the king Maharaj Parikshit felt that the act he had committed against the faultless and powerful Brahmana was heinous and uncivilized. Consequently, he was distressed.
See, he had already done one act which was, as per the Shastra, as per general norms, very, very heinous and dirty, bad, not expected from a righteous king like Parikshit. What did he do? He put a dead snake on the neck of a sage. The sage who was in trance, who was in meditation, and was not aware of his presence. So he was again and again contemplating. Remember one thing, an action is never bad. The purpose behind the action is more than the action. छोटी सी कहानी बता. एक बार एक आदमी काफी गलत काम कर रहा था, चोरी चकारी, खून खराबा सब करता था, and he used to make lot of money, काफी धन कमाया. एक दिन जाते जाते गलती से he reached a सत्संग. तो सत्संग में क्या होगा, अच्छी चीजें सुनेगा. He went to the सत्संग and सत्संग में nice कथा was going on, and वहां पे बोला गया कि भाई आपको किसी को खून कर रहे हो तो आपको पाप लग रहा है. ठीक है, पाप लग रहा है. He realized his mistake, that what I am doing is wrong, my act is wrong. So he went and met the speaker who was sitting on the Vyasasana. He asked himself, I have already done 80 murders. I have done 80 murders and I have already sinned. So what's the solution for me? क्या मेरे लिए कुछ उपाय है? Immediately he said, sin अगर आपने कर दिया तो कर दिया, ठीक है, आज से मत कर. और मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा? I have atoned for my sin. तो immediately व्यासासन में जो बैठे थे उन्होंने एक बड़ा सा एक बम्बू निकाला, big stick, not a bamboo, a stick, staff, strong staff, and he gave him. I said, the day you have committed you have atoned for all your sins, or you're really saying no, enough is enough from your heart, that day this stick will grow leaves, hara bhara ho jaye. Practically that's not possible, right? Person moving around with the stick, definitely the stick cannot grow leaves. So immediately he took the stick and he started moving around, left his dirty job, killing and all. One day he was going to the jungle, suddenly he saw one cow was going, and a tiger was following that cow. Now he knew for sure that the tiger is going to kill the cow. He was wondering, what do I do? how do I save this cow from the tiger? Because now he was in a good path. But he realized now he has no other choice, but he has to kill the tiger. But he was wondering, one more sin. I already committed 80 murders. Now 81th murder I'll do. But he said, yeah, 80 murder हो गया, वहाँ एक और murder से क्या फर्क पड़ता? Already I have committed 80 murders. So एक और से. So that same stuff what he was given, what he had, he struck the tiger and repeatedly beat it, and finally the tiger died. Immediately this stuff turned green. All shoots started coming out of the stuff. He was wondering, how come all my sins are passed away? I murdered 80, but nothing happened. But only that one murder, and this is also a murder, right? Killing an animal is a death, is a murder. But that gave up fruits. So we have to understand that no action is bad. Purpose behind the action is bad. But here in this case, the action which Parikshit Maharaj did was not planned. He didn't have any enmity or jealousy towards the sage. He only happened to do it out of thirst and in the spur of that moment. And one should always remember, action done in the spur of the moment, maybe you may have to repent for it at a later stage. So that is the reason why this is a message which all the Shastras give us. Shastras at various points give us various message. And here at this point, the Shastra is giving a message that never take an action or never do an action on the spur of the minute or on the very spontaneously. Don't react. Think twice, then react. If one reacts spontaneously, he may land up doing something bad for himself. Though here, the bad is nothing, but there's something only good is going to happen. We have already discussed at large how Lord was very close with Parikshit Maharaj. In fact, Parikshit Maharaj has seen the Lord inside the mother's womb itself. So special for him that then how come Lord chose him to do such an act? Because Lord wanted to use him as a medium to give us the Bhagavad. More than that, unless and until Parikshit Maharaj doesn't pass away, Kali cannot flourish. And Kali has to flourish means Parikshit Maharaj has to move out of the kingdom. That is the reason why the whole series of events happen. So one has to understand the past karmas. Now in this case, there was no past karmas. Every action is because of some past karma. That's what we have learned as per the law of karma. Sanna Kasai, the story, very famous story, where this comes in Bhaktimal, okay, where he was a nice person, a sadhu, a very nice sadhu. But he was in Maunvrat. He used to never speak. But there was one problem. He used to only speak the truth. If he spoke only the truth. And one day, when Kasai, a butcher, was trying to catch a cow, and the cow was running, and this butcher came behind. And he came and asked him, which direction did the cow go? Immediately, he was mouth was stitched. He immediately said, showed the direction. And the butcher caught the cow and killed it. And see the reaction. Here, there is a reaction. Of this past karmas, the reaction is now in this birth, he is going to face another karmic reaction. And that is, he is going to be born as a butcher. And as a butcher, he never liked killing. He was very small, was a small boy. Suddenly once, his father was telling family members. His father is also definitely a butcher. So in those days, Varanashram means they used to stick to that Varana and Ashram. His father was telling the family members, tomorrow my friend is going to come. We got a nice bull standing outside our house. I'm going to chop off its right leg and feed my friend. He will be very happy. And he went and embraced the bull, and he was crying. Hurry, tomorrow my father is going to cut you. The bull said, don't worry, my dear child. Last birth, I was a butcher and I had killed him. So in this birth, he's killed. So this is the law of karma. But in case of, I will continue with the story of Kasai, but please understand, this is a story of, this does not apply in case of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj had no karmic reactions for which he had to do this, because had he done a karmic reaction, it would have landed up in another karmic reaction. It would have not landed up in a nice fruit of having Bhagavatam in the end. So Kachai was so sad. He decided, because last birth he was a sage, but because of that mistake he was born as a butcher. He decided, now I'm not going to kill animals. But I cannot leave my business, it's my family tradition. So I will buy meat so that I will incur less sin. Instead of killing the animal, I'll buy the animal which is already slaughtered and then sell the meat. One day he was selling the meat. And after selling, he went out for a walk. And there he saw a nice shining stone, beautiful black shining stone. He was attracted towards the stone. He took the stone. Nice. The stone was none other than Shaligram. It was a Shaligram. Shaligram means what? How many of you know about the relevance about Shaligram? कितने लोगों को पता है शालिग्राम का महत्व क्या है? Shaligram is God personified. There is no prana pratishtha for Shaligram. Shaligram puja can be done in any, at any state, no specific rules. And the best part of it is, अगर मूर्ति आपकी खंडित हो जाती है, there is some crack in your, what do you say, idol, your deities, or it breaks, anything, there is a damage or anything of that sort. Or even if it breaks into two, the Shaligram breaks into two. For that, there is no problem. If the Shaligram breaks into powder, it breaks into two, then you worship it as two Shaligrams. That greatest Shaligram. Shaligram means Lord Himself. And this Kasai is taking that Shaligram and kept it on one pan of the balance. Tarazu ke palle pe rakh diya. Wah! This is a very nice balanced weight. And daily he used to cut meat and keep it on one pan and he used to weigh it and give it. Once one sadhu was going, sadhu वहां से जा रहा, अरे ये लोग तो, ये आदमी क्या कर रहा है, पागल आदमी है, he doesn't know what stone it is. This is Shaligram, such a great stone. And how come this idiot is using it and touching it with blood-soaked hands? Because when he's touching meat, the hand will be soaked with blood and other things, dirty things, meat and everything. And with the same hand, he was using the thing to take the Shaligram. So he went and said, my dear friend, what you are doing is a big heinous sin. Please listen. And he was a man with good pravritti, proclivity. So immediately he said, yes, tell me, what can I do for you? I said, sir, you are doing a big blunder. This is Shaligram. If you cannot worship, no problem. Give it to me. I'll worship. He said, no problem. He gave the Shaligram to him. The sage took the Shaligram, brought it home, gave it a bath with Ganges water, and applied chandan, tilak, and tulsi patra, and nicely decorated with flowers and all, and kept it on a nice velvet bed. And he felt very nice. I've done a very nice job. आज मैंने भगवान को उस कसाई के हाथ से बचाया. Was touching it with blood hands and all that. मैंने उसको बचा दिया और उसको मैंने यहाँ पे लाके उसको अच्छा श्रृंगार करके विधिवत अगरबत्ती भोग लगा के रखा. In the night, Shaligram, the Lord, personified himself and came and sat on his chest. Hey, idiot, who asked you to bring me from there? He asked. The sage said, my God, sir, you are mishandled over there. He was not taking care of you. And you are in a non-sanctified position. I have sanctified you, I have kept you clean and sacred. He said, no, I was very happy. I was very happy the way he used to handle me. In fact, whenever he used to lift me and put me on the pan of the balance, and the pan used to shake or rather swing, I used to enjoy that swimming. I would take me back to him, give me back to him. The very next day, Sage went, fell at his feet, gave him the shali. I said, "You please keep it with you. Keep it in this pan, and you use it the way you want. Lord himself wants to be with you. He doesn't want to be with me. Please don't misinterpret this." In India, people have got a habit of misinterpreting things rather than interpreting it. These are cases where Lord sees the purity of one's actions. Many of us certify our own actions to be pure. कई बार हम अपने आप को, अपने एक्शंस को हम प्योर बोल लेते हैं. Yes, what I am doing is perfect. पूरे क्लास में, पूरे 50 लोग में मैं ही सबसे बेस्ट चैंटिंग करता हूँ, मैं ही सबसे बेस्ट भक्ति करता हूँ, मैं ही सबसे बेस्ट भगवान का दर्शन करता हूँ. बेस्ट. Don't certify yourself. This certificate should come from God, not from, especially from yourself. Otherwise, there's an old proverb, donkey praises its own tail. Similarly, one may praise his own devotion, but that doesn't work. So he was again very happy, and after a few days, he decided, let me go to Jagannath Puri. So he left his home, started walking towards Jagannath Puri. And on the way, whatever he used to beg and get, he used to eat. Initially, he joined a group of sadhus who were going to Jagannath. But then those people were not happy to take him. The reason was he was a butcher. They didn't want to carry a butcher with us. They said he is a sinful man, and why should we have a sinful man in our group? And so they used to keep him at bay. Finally, he realized that, and one day he started slowly going behind, and he got separated from that group. One evening, he landed in one's Grahastha's house, beg for food. The lady of the house was attracted towards this butcher. She was attracted to his bodily features. He said, give me the food, I'll take it and eat it. She said, no, I insist, you should sit here and I will serve you. She made him sit there and she served him very nicely and sumptuously. Of course, there was lust in her heart, which was making her serve him. He was a sadhu. He ate everything and he said, no, okay, thank you very much, I'll leave. She said, no, it's already night. You should spend the night here. You can go tomorrow morning. He said, fine. He spent the night in the house. He was given a separate room and he was in that room. And in the middle of the night, when her husband and all the family members had slept off, she came. She came to him and she said, I want to enjoy with you. He said, I will not do it. I mean, I'm not a person of this sort. I'm a spiritual person. Even if you cut my throat, I will not enjoy it. Now, this lady misinterpreted this. She thought, cut the throat, I will not enjoy. She thought, till I don't cut the throat of my husband, he will not enjoy with me. She misinterpreted it. And, a person who is lusty, is under the sway of lust, he loses his balance of mind, his sense of discrimination. Immediately she went, took a nice knife and killed her husband. Cut his throat, killed him. And she came and told him that I have killed my husband, now you can enjoy. Said, no way, I am not going to enjoy with you. You are a murderess and I never said all this. Now the lady was in dilemma. She has lost her husband also. And this butcher is not going to accept her. So she was wondering what to do. And typically what they do in Hindi movies, right? She started screaming that this man is a bad man. He has put eyes on me and he has murdered my. So immediately all the people caught hold of him, and immediately the king's sepoys were called and he was held. Now they asked him, "Tell, did you do this crime?" No, he had not done any crime. He knew very well that these people are not going to let go. So immediately he decided for one thing. Why not? I accept the crime. So immediately accepted the crime. Yes, I have done the murder. क्या करना है? Come. He just decided for the crime what you have done, you'll chop off your hands. He started laughing. Fine. His hands were chopped. So Acharya say, that position, his hands and Jagannathji's hands were like same. And Jagannathji's hands are cut, right? They're not fully developed. And this person's hand, this butcher's hand was also cut. Blood was flowing out of that, but still he was not crying, he was not lamenting, and neither was he blaming God for it. He was not blaming God. He said, this must be some of my past karmic reaction which I am suffering. And whatever God is doing for good. This is the first characteristic feature which we have to develop when we go or progress in devotion. Many people expect that if anything wrong happens in their life, when they are doing or while they are doing devotion, they feel it is God's responsibility to stop that bad thing to happen. Mind you, we are talking of something spiritual which has nothing to do with material things. This body is material. Anything good or bad happens with this body is in the material platform. Nothing good or bad can happen in the spiritual platform. भगवान ने पहले बोल दिया भगवत गीता में, नैनम जंदन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनम दहति पावका न चक्लेवदन्ति आपो न सोस्यति मारुतः. Right? What is Lord saying? भाई आपका आत्मा कभी मरेगा नहीं, कभी जलेगा नहीं, कभी सूखेगा नहीं, कभी भीगेगा नहीं. What does this mean? This only means that our soul is totally different. The problem is we as a soul, housed in this material body, consider all in all to be our body. We forget to identify this distinction. And that is why we tend to ask or cry to God, hey, I'm in problem. You're not helping me. You have to help my problem. Please get this very straight and clear. God is not sitting here to solve your problems. भगवान आपके कष्टों को, अपने प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने नहीं बैठे हैं, क्योंकि जो प्रॉब्लम्स है ना, एक तो ये आदि देविक, आदि भौतिक, आध्यात्मिक, बाकी जन्म लेने के बाद जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि, ये 507 प्रॉब्लम्स तो होंगे. इसके अलावा एक और है, आपका कर्मिक रिएक्शंस. जो आपने कर्म किया है वो आपको ही भुगतना है, कोई और आपके लिए नहीं भुगत सकता. Nobody else can suffer for you. You and you yourself have to suffer for it. So it was very sad that my time was wasted in the prison. But otherwise, he was happily going with the same cut hands. He was going towards Jagannath Puri. When he reached the outskirts, Jagannathji called us the Pandas. Now Jagannathji speaks. Might be this may be sounding funny, but even today Jagannathji speaks. आज के तारीख में most of you all must have not gone to Jagannath Puri, but Jagannath Puri में भगवान पांडवों के साथ बात करते हैं. There is no fixed time for the Lord to get up. There is no fixed time for the Lord to sleep. भगवान कभी कभी 5 बजे उठेंगे, कभी 6 बजे उठेंगे, कभी 5:30 बजे उठेंगे. बाकी सब मंदिरों में फिक्स टाइम में उठन रहता है, फिक्स टाइम पे शयन रहता है. पर जगन्नाथपुरी में there is no fixed time. Lord can get up anytime, sleep anytime. There is a way in which they see it on water and they see, नहीं भगवान अभी तक सोए नहीं है. I've seen, they shouting in front of God much before, 10 years before, I'm telling. That time Jagannath Puri was easily accessible. All spiritual places have become tourist spots. And the best joke was, I've seen the panda shouting, कालिया सो जा, हमको नींद आ रही है, सो जा तू. They shout, they call Jagannath ji as Kalia. So put intimacy with God. They say, so ja, sleep. You sleep so that we got to sleep. So that's the intimacy which Jagannath ji has got with his pandas. She called the pandas, said, my devotee has come. Sanna Kasai has come. Go and tell him that I have called him. And take a palanquin and make him sit on the palanquin in which I go. Make him sit on that and get him. By the way, why there are Rath Yatras and palanquins not only in Jagannath Puri, in every temple, mainly in South India, you will see Rath Yatra is like weekly program. आप उडुपी कृष्णा में चले जाओ, उडुपी में कृष्ण का मंदिर में रोज होता है रथ यात्रा. Why is it so? Yes, Jigar Prabhu, I am expecting an answer from you.
Prabhuji, it is just to give pleasure to the Lord.
Okay, very good. Something more?
प्रभु जी, भक्तों को दर्शन देने के लिए और भक्तों से मिलन करने के लिए जो लोग मंदिर में नहीं जा पाते, कई लोग.
हाँ, perfect answer. Those who cannot go, one varna is said, na, cannot go. God doesn't say that varna को मैं दर्शन ही नहीं दूं. हम लोग बहुत सारे लोग they create a hue and cry. Oh, our the scriptures, our entire dharma has been devised so nicely. Everyone is blessed. Everyone can enjoy this right of blessing. So those who are very sinful, those who are coming from a caste, who are barred from going inside the temple, even they can come and worship. You know why Jagannath Puri has got so many foreigners in Rath Yatra? Because foreigners are not allowed inside Jagannath temple. The only temple in India where foreigners are not allowed to go inside. I still remember one of my friend's daughter. She was very fair. We had gone with the group. So that time she was very fair. She was caught and she was asked, are you a foreigner? They made her speak Hindi. They asked her name, asked for her Aadhaar card. And that time, I think they asked for the school name and all those details. There was no Aadhaar card that time, just beginning. So, कहने का मतलब, they are so strict. They don't allow foreigners to come inside. So that is the reason why so many foreigners wait outside the Rath Yatra so that they can have the darshan of Jagannath. So every temple, everywhere you will see either भगवान को पालकी में लेके जाएंगे या रथ में बिठा के लेके जाएंगे, but everyone gets a chance to take the darshan of God, take His mercy. But how to utilize it is up to them. So finally, the pandas took the palanquin and went out and they started shouting, "Arey, Sanna Kasai kidhar hai? Sanna Kasai kidhar hai?" Everyone was shouting. Finally, he said, "Yes, I am that." They looked at him. They were shocked. Oh, hands are cut, bleeding. Said, "I am that Kasai. God has called you. God has told, Jagannath ji has told, please sit in this palanquin. We'll go. We'll take you. This is Lord's palanquin itself." For a split second, he thought, should I sit or not? What should he do? Should he sit or not? What would be if you all are given a choice or a chance, what would be your reactions? Would you sit and go? Come on, answer fast. You have to just give yes or no, that's all.
Yes.
You would sit in the palanquin and go. Very good. Anybody else?
No, Prabhuji, how can we sit in God's palanquin?
Okay, you cannot sit in God's palanquin. Fine, that's also okay. Something else? Come on, fast. I want a couple of more people to answer. Yes, Deepali, what would you do? Jigar, what would you do?
Prabhuji, I think he would have gone in the palanquin because it was the order of Jagannath ji.
Yes. Anyone, when ordered by God, should obey the order because he should not see his likes and dislikes. Please understand this very clearly. A surrendered soul. What is the meaning of a surrendered soul? A surrendered soul is no one, but one who has no other option other than God's will. उसकी खुद की कुछ भी इच्छा या खुद का मन के हिसाब से कुछ नहीं करेगा. He will not do anything of his own all free will. He doesn't have a free will. He surrenders his free will, and that is what is called a surrendered soul. Otherwise, you will take your own call with your own mental concoctions. That's why he immediately sat on that. Just because Lord has said it's an order, fine, I have to follow my Lord's order. When he went to God, when he was taken in front of God, he got down and he wanted to do Dandavat Parikrama. The minute he got down and he was about to do Dandavat Parikrama, Dandavat Pranam, his both hands sprout back. He became normal and immediately he could pay his obeisances. Acharyas say this was because one karmic reaction of his earlier birth. He told truth. Sometimes don't tell truth. It is better to tell a lie than to tell it. Because if a truth is killing someone, is hampering someone, if a marriage is getting stopped, no, I've already given you those conditions, right? Vritti arthe, narma vivahe, then go brahmana hatye, all those, so Shukracharya tells all these conditions. It's already mentioned in the Shastra. In these conditions, you can tell lies. So never follow any rule frantically or fanatically. And what I'm trying to say is how the karmic reaction changed. The butcher in the earlier birth, when he was a Brahmana, because of his foolish action, the cow got killed by another butcher. That butcher and that cow turned to be a lady of the next birth. That butcher turned out to be the lady. And that butcher who had come to kill the cow, he turned out to be the person who cut his hands. So, law of karma is very, very subtle. Please be careful. We have to first follow dharma and then follow devotion. What is the difference between Ramayana and Krishna Leela? Ramayana first teaches you how to follow your duties perfectly, how to perform them correctly. And if you don't perform your duties and your, whatever is justifiably expected from you, if you don't do that, where is the question of your progressing in devotion? I'll give you a small, simple example. As let's say a new daughter-in-law gets married and comes, she's a very divine devotee. But if she doesn't take care of her mother-in-law, her husband, her children, and just says, no, it's morning time, I have to go to Mangalarati, I have to go and go to the temple and do some seva over there. Is it justified? So first one should read Ramayana and then Bhagavatam. Or the reason is Ramayana teaches you first do your duties first. See what did Lord Ramchandra ji do at all circumstances, even in the worst of the situation, he upheld his father's orders. He did not let his father's orders go down, though it was detrimental for him. Hidden reasons are all secondary. But first, let's get this very clear. He had to execute his father's order under all circumstances. So first thing Ramayana teaches is dharma. And then when you follow dharma, automatically spirituality enters your life. And you automatically start excelling in spirituality. So we have to understand that under no conditions was Parikshit Maharaj had committed that mistake, or rather an act of God, because God wanted him to do that. so that he could be given the Bhagavatam. But there was no karmic reactions behind it. There was no other reasons for which, or rather any bad intentions in Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, with this I would like to close today's session. We'll continue next week in the next class.